A touching gesture was made by Roman Reigns, the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion, in the lead-up to the forthcoming party at the premium Berlin venue. Happening in real time, the OTC skip. Friday night this week, the 39-year-old went back to SmackDown, SummerSlam, WWE to air a televised special attacking by me, and so assist Cody. In order to keep his title, Rhodes assaulted next week's Friday to test a different bloodline, assert supremacy, but around August 16, latest release from Brand Expo Jacob. Following his hiatus, Fatu came back to week before to now in order to aid his faction in beyond the previous table leader following being brutalized by the group headed by, aside from Roman, his previous stablemate, missed Reigns' challenge. What follows, week during which he was not present at the square, go around the area where the X-Shield member went, Joe Daggio Children's Medical Center. The hospital's Instagram account shared Rain Pizza Party update for the WWE patients and their loved ones. Roman-era tribal chief, and he has won the World Series twice and is currently all-star baseball player Jeff Conine dropped by to indulge in a pizza celebration with our patients and friends and relatives. We cherish our local heroes for stepping away during their day to bring a touch of joy and provide joy to the children. JDCH, Hashmima Ravioli, Joe D. Feel Good Friday with the foundation. Read the post-wrestling alumnus thinks you need potential traitor inside the Roman family. Reigns currently, Roman Reigns, enduring a protracted conflict with the family tree with Solo Sikoa at the head. One group has eliminated his supporters, Jimmy, despite the fact that Paul Heyman and USO are anticipated to return at a later date. Matt Morgan, a seasoned wrestler, recently shared an novel perspective on the present scenario when discussing the enormous music program. As Morgan had foretold Paul, when Heyman got back, he betrayed Reigns to band along with the lineage's previous enforcer, the ex-WWE superstar, but admitted that the process would be lengthy. Thinking about the brutal assault, Mon took a beating from the lone said faction. It seems to me that this is still in the travel time. I'm crossing my fingers that Paul Heyman shows up, returns, and I believe he takes Solo's side. If they would only pay attention to what I have to say. I crushed him not long ago. That makes sense to me. Because of this, the process will be lengthy along the way, but he must not adopt the babyface persona. Managers are ineffective. Contemplated. Roman suffers a major betrayal in his statement, Matt Morgan stated, spanning the intervals 43 to 44:27. Hey Paul, Heyman has not made an appearance at WWE. Coding over the next 2 months. Look like when he finally makes his highly anticipated. It will be intriguing to observe whether once you return, he maintains his partnership with Roman, becomes king, or joins forces with single Sikoa. Roman Reigns shows incredible kindness. Get ready for WWE Party in. As the late summer, cool breeze, Berlin, frightened Berliners in the leads up to, during the WWE Party in Berlin, peak, the occasion that had been teased for months before preparing to display some of the most famous wrestlers of all time, not to mention the current Universal. Roman, the champion, feels the electrifying energy of the city as admirers from throughout the globe congregated to observe what seemed to be going to be among the most memorable evenings in WWE history. Back in the day, nevertheless, very few were aware that events when the chief of the tribe was getting about to action that would have repercussions beyond the ring, as Roman Reigns, a character, typical depictions of the icy. The lineage's strategic head had a constant awareness of his duties that come with being a prominent figure, understood the breadth of his impact via means of the WWE Universe impacting the lives, observers of his every move, regardless if whether they adored him or despised him, and due to his getting ready for Reigns' bash in Berlin, was awakened to the strength of his platform. 1 week prior to the Reigns event, had a letter written by a young admirer named Kid Lucas, who is 10 years old and lives in tiny village on the outskirts of Berlin. It was Lucas's. Received the news that they have an uncommon kind of. Reigns also suffered from leukemia. Had to fight and win back in the past when the handwriting is weak but legible. Resolute handwriting revealed Lucas's regard for Reigns and the manner in which his inspiration for the wrestler's journey came from. Continued to battle in writing. In his writing, Lucas, beloved Roman, I look up to you. Your identity is known to me. Also battled leukemia. I saw as you triumph. I face you weekly on SmackDown, and whenever anything seems like I can also overcome anything after seeing you. I aspire to be as courageous as you are, yet that's not easy at all. Someday, I'd love to meet you in Berlin, but I fear I may not be able to leave without first expressing my gratitude that have given me faith. To Roman's surprise, the fan letters he had gotten, correspondence throughout the years, yet something about Lucas's speech resonated, possibly because of the same background in fighting cancer, or maybe it was the unfiltered sincerity in. For some reason, Lucas's words Reigns was aware that he needed to go above and above her. One day after this youthful admirer reached out to WWE's headquarters, plans to pay a personal visit to Lucas in his haste to get to the game before the prominent Berlin event, with the goal of boosting to lift his spirits and make him realize he wasn't. While he fought alone, Reigns maintained contact with, not told anyone outside of the small group of WWE employees that assisted in the planning of the details. On the first day of the appointment, by way of Lucas's town, Roman accompanied his relative and another WWE celebrity, Juso. As they drew near the humble house, there was a range of feelings experienced by Roman as he felt grateful in the sake of his personal healing, understanding of Lucas, and an overwhelming feeling of direction. In this trip was much more than a show of support. Came back to the reason he battled so fiercely within and outside of the ring. Lucas's warmly welcomed Roman and Jay by their parents. Nods, even though it was obvious that they were attempting to suppress sobs. Lucas, who was laying in bed unaware that the hero was on the verge of entering the room. Lucas's gaze widened as Roman stepped into the room, was taken aback for a brief instant as it seems like time was standing still. Lucas, Roman whispered as he knelt by bed for the youngster. Thank you for writing. Deeply touched me. Additionally, Lucas, unable to articulate the situation, he could only nod in silence as his eyes well up with tears. Roman arrived at step out and touched the boy's hand, extending calming grin. As a fighter, you simply, Roman went on, like me, and I wanted, so you can feel supported. We're in. Do this, all right? You're powerful, Lucas. Was I? Are able to perceive it. Everyone in the room seemed to be deep quietness as Lucas at last discovered. However, I'm grateful for his voice as he murmured, I will persevere. I swear that Roman squandered the later this afternoon chatting with Lucas and his own struggle while relating tales to his relatives, dealing with cancer and providing encouragement. Supporting Lucas, he also brought a unique present, a duplicate of the worldwide belt commemorating a championship won by Roman, along with the phrase, keep going, Roman huge, before champ Lucas was, while assuring him that he would be considering to him at Berlin's The Bash. He pledged to give his effort his all at, telling Lucas about it and the boys. A radiant grin spread across the face. The account of Roman's journey made its way to the WWE in a short amount of time. The party in Berlin had arrived and was now the attendees at Talk of the Town's arena performance. Alerts that wealthy individuals, Lucas together with, on and off the field, Roman is our champion. Ring. The vibe was non-stop, the sole reason being the wrestling show. However, due of the profound emotional bond that had been established between an A-lister and his ardent follower, Roman. Upon his arrival that evening, the onlookers went into a frenzy of applause as the reserved for tribal chiefs, the individual constituting the persona shown. while Roman halted atop the platform, surveying the throng of admirers, followed by a quiet ascent to the heavens.